Hi, my name is Luanna Huang. I'm from Eisenhower High School, and this is my oratory for states. What if I told you that the race between the rabbit and the turtle wasn't just slow and steady always wins the race? In order for the turtle to win the race, there has been persistence involved. And in order for that persistence to be involved, there is a mindset of productivity. Today, I'm going to explore 4 reasons for why you are not as productive as you like to be, the causes and effects of productivity, and how it impacts our lives and our economy. So let's get started. I'm sure that all of us, at one point in our lives, woke up and weren't very productive using our time wisely. In a study by Cornerstone University, they found 4 reasons for why people are unproductive. And the first reason being technology. I'm sure that we've all experienced scrolling through our phones or being on a computer till a part of your body started to hurt. I admit, I've been a victim too. This explains the back pain that I have. And the shoulder pain. But back to the point. Technology has really taken over our productivity, especially over this pandemic. A survey done by Frontier recorded that there's about a 50 to 70% increase in internet usage. And of that 50% of the time was spent engaging on social media. That's quite a lot, but it's not surprising when everything has been virtual. Although technology plays a very important role in today's modern world, it also stops a lot of us from being on task and finishing our work. Another reason for why people can sometimes be unproductive is a lack of direction. It is stated by Cornerstone University that a person may know what their end goal is, but have no idea how to get there. And it's true. Sometimes there's something that you really want to do, but you don't have a way to do it. Maybe it has never been done before, or maybe it's too much work. But let's be honest. We often look at a person who has something that we don't have and call them gifted. But what if it's because they have better productivity and they put all that hard work in? Have you guys ever just sat there scrolling through your phones and you say 5 more minutes and then look up 5 minutes later and it's been 2 hours? Yeah, me too. But it's okay. We can start tomorrow, right? That's what most people do. However, so-called gifted people don't always exactly do that. They say 5 more minutes and then 5 minutes later they're up. If only I had that kind of productivity. If someone gave you $86,400 and told you that you have to spend it all in one day, you would, right? You would try and go shopping, buying all those nice designer items. But listen to this. Every day you have 86,400 seconds. Yet, those seconds aren't always used like you intended to. Imagine if everyone had the productivity and persistence to get up and get that task done. We would all be less stressed and happier. Sometimes there are obstacles that we can face that can stop us from getting from one point to another. We lack a sense of direction. Sometimes just need a little bit of reassurance and guidance, which is why I need the courage, persistence, and our minds to push that productivity out of us. But sometimes overly difficult work or boredom with tasks can make that very challenging. Cornerstone University announced that people sometimes tend to struggle to stay productive simply because they are bored with the work. They may find it uninteresting or tedious, which makes it harder to finish. And the same thing can be true with work that is overly difficult or complicated. When a task seems too hard to finish, it is common for people to procrastinate. They tend to find excuses to not start it, or to focus on smaller, easier tasks instead. This leads to a low productivity and a failure to accomplish work that actually needs to get done. I have noticed, however, that sometimes talking to a friend about your work, or simply just reminding yourself why you're doing this helps with the boredom or difficulty of that task. This kind of brings us back to the race between the rabbit and the turtle. The rabbit got bored of the race and was very sure of himself that if he took a nap, he would still be able to win. He got bored and lost some of his productivity to finish where he started. Hence, he got lazy, took a nap, and lost the race. Whereas the turtle had the productivity and persistence to push through to the end of the race. This also kind of sounds like Dory when she says just keep swimming, which refers to never giving up and having the persistence to continue. It's a great thing to have persistence and courage and a good mindset, but all of this starts with the will to create productivity. Perhaps if the rabbit had better persistence, the stereotype of a turtle is slower than a rabbit wouldn't have been broken. But it's okay, it's a win for the turtles. Along with getting bored with your task or thinking that your task is overly difficult, starting too late in the day can also contribute to a lack of productivity. Many of us probably wake up and lay in bed for the next couple of hours, or maybe wake up and take a nap. A lot of people say that there just aren't enough hours in a day. It's a hard world out here. 24 hours just isn't enough for a lot of us. There's so much to do, but not enough time. However, if you really look at it, we tend to wake up and do random unimportant things over what is important. We lounge around instead of perhaps giving a shot at trying something new. But for those of us that like to wake up late but feel horrible because you aren't like those early bird people, guess what? You don't have to be a morning person to be seen as a productive person. The phrase morning people are more productive is simply a stereotype. And in an article by Healthline, they declared that a study on chronotypes found that certain genetic markers make us feel more alert in the morning or in the evening. In other words, not everyone is going to be able to get up at the crack of dawn to get those abs, be productive first thing in the morning, work 9 to 5 jobs, or simply be an early bird. They also found that if you want a good productivity, you need good sleep. Having sleep and a routine is something very important that a person should have. Planning out when you get done, and having enough sleep to help finish what you started. Research also shows that when you mark something off your to-do list, you release a productivity dopamine. And that's your end goal, right? Isn't it everyone's? To finish what you need to get done and what you started. Now that we know the 4 reasons for why you are not as productive as you'd like to be, let's talk about the causes and effects of productivity. Productivity is something that isn't for the weak. It's hard to get yourself up every morning and be ready for anything, let alone constantly doing that. But the more productive we are, the smoother everything around us runs, sort of like a chain reaction. When you're not productive for yourself, you could be affecting a certain part in your future. For example, you don't do your homework now, you get a failing grade later. In an article by Sean Ross about how productivity affects the economy, he emphasizes this line. The level of productivity is the most fundamental and important factor determining the standards of living. And raising it allows people to get what they want faster or more in the same amount of time. Supply rises with productivity, which decreases real prices and increases real wages. And he is right. Productivity is equally important to yourself as it is to the outside world. And increasing it may mean more work, less procrastination, less laying around, and less doing random unimportant things over what is important. However, it's not an overnight fix, just like a lot of things in this world. Sometimes we catch ourselves eating that bag of chips over getting those abs that we said we were going to start getting last week. But it's okay. With each new day, we can slowly push ourselves to become more productive. This could be as simple as getting up 5 minutes earlier every day than the day before, or getting a planner and planning out all the important things that you need to do for that day. And do you know what the best part about being productive is? With a simple search on the internet, you'll find loads and loads on tips and tricks on articles on how to be productive. Everything begins with a tiny step. But the more productive you are, the smoother the world around you spins. With each step, you'll find that it's a lot easier than you actually think it is. Just like how the turtle won the race against the rabbit. He had his persistence, and with that persistence, he had his productivity. So don't be like the hare who took a nap. Get up and start being productive today. Thank you for listening.